What's up, everyone? Bradley Jack Design here. Turn this music up a little bit. There we go. Welcome. We are going to be doing some critiques today based on users from my Discord. So, I have a Discord channel, and in that, there's a place you can submit. I'm gonna try and do these videos weekly and see what sort of feedback I can give you guys. So, first off, we're starting off with this Giannis Antetokounmpo swap that Tom the Potato did. This was before, this is after. Over the swap itself seems blurrier. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a exporting issue. All in all, I don't like jersey swaps just because they're very taxing. But just from what I can see on this jersey swap, there seems to be a couple areas like here where it looks a little sketchy, where like the arm would go over. So you can see here, it just seems a little odd. I think what it is this bright area here. I think if you added some shadows to this area to darken this area up, it might flow a little bit better. I think in general, there's a little bit of quality issue with some of the imagery. Like I can see the artifacting in the Miami here, and just see some of the jaggedness of some of these areas. What I would have done probably was clipped out, and I don't know how you did this, but I would have clipped out the player completely, because there's like this small like black fringe I can see, and I don't know if that is from where you colored in the black and it hit a little bit of the background, but if you clip it, then you're not going to have that issue. And then you can go into the back layer and use a like stamp tool and erase some of the edges, so then there's a nice clean break from where it's at. Overall placements on stuff seems fine, but it just seems like some things are a little pixelated more than others. Like, you know, I can see where this obvious break is here to where the shoulder sleeve area is, and it's not the same color as this. It's both black, but this is like a colder black, and you really want these to be the same and, you know, mesh together. I think this could have used a little bit of lighting, you know, some highlights here, shadows down here, just to sell the idea that this is all one cohesive piece. I think I would just work on trying to find higher resolution files. I think that'll just all in all help out. But again, I mean, I don't like jersey swaps. I don't like doing them, but you know, you can see actually also just like the 34 here compared to where the 34 is here. I probably would have tried to match that up a little bit better, because it looks like the 4 is like on his rib cage instead of in the center of his chest. But all in all, just a couple of things to work on, things that I would change from this. I'm trying to make these critiques as helpful and curt as possible and honest. So next up, we've got this design by Dorian, D26 GFX. And all in all, I like this graphic. This is done for the Albany Empire. He posted this. I like the composition, big guy, little guys here. You know, maybe I would have swapped this guy out, but probably not. I think all in all, and someone mentioned this in Discord, is I would have gotten rid of this text here and just kept all of this stuff intact. Because I don't think it needs this text. Because I mean, you can see Albany Empire here. It might be good to have it somewhere else. You know, you've got the Albany logo here. Maybe you put Albany on this side and Empire on the other, and kind of have it branch out from the middle with a little bit of symmetry. But the composition I like. I like this shape you've got in the background with the fill on the inside. I might have toned down a little bit of some of these effects, like this. Toned down this effect a little bit, the sort of metallic-y, grungy effect on the shape. I like how you included the rain. I think that's good. It doesn't look like it. I would have put it in front of everything. It looks like you have it in just the background. I would have put it in front of everything, and then maybe played around with the clarity, or not the clarity of how clear you can see through it. But maybe you put it in the background because you didn't want it to cover up a lot. The only thing I really would have added to this was some lighting on his face based on the lightning you have here. So you've got these lightning strikes. Maybe put, you know, spots of blue along the edges where the light would hit. You know, you've got this lightning going across his beard and face. Put some blue behind it. A little bit of coloring here, you know, stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, just a little bit of lighting here. a touch fewer on the effects. I like what we've got going down here. I like the symmetry, like the composition you have. But pretty much that's all I would probably do on this. All in all, it's a pretty solid composition. This is designed by Jake, made this nice Slim Reaper design. KD holding a scythe. I'm trying to look at it. I thought there was a clipping issue with it, but actually it's just some lighting on it. It looks nice, actually. I don't really have a lot to say on this. Like, so we've got some depth here, which is good. Maybe he's covering up a shoe. Probably not. I think that looks nice. You've got glows that are successfully working here. You've got some nice grass going on here as well, which is good. Tombstones in the front, house in the back. I think this is all done pretty well. I don't really have a lot to say on this. You know, I think it's overall it's pretty solid. If we want to nitpick some stuff, let's nitpick some stuff. I probably would have, I don't know, maybe put some, you got some yellow here, which is good. You know, I was going to say put more over here. This light here where the edge is on the fringe, which I put in a lot of my stuff, maybe tone it down here just a little bit at the bottom, just because you're hitting the light source from up here. It wouldn't hit down here as much. You know, there's these tiny little bubbles, which I kind of like, but some of them look a little bit distracting. And it looks like they're like duplicated, like that's the same. These are the same, maybe. I don't know. And I'm just really nitpicking thing. I think overall it's great. You know, could you have put some text on here? Sure. Is it needed? Probably not. Let me look at this. So what I'm looking at right now is like, this looks super clear and crisp, this pumpkin. It looks more clear than KD here, because KD's got a little bit of a noise cancellation, noise reduction going on to him. And then just like right up here, my eye keeps pulling to this just because of all this huge contrast, but like, I don't know if there's really anything you could have done. And then like up on the moon, like there's this hard edge here. Is that an actual just photo with this guy and it looks like that? Maybe. I probably would have blurred it out a teeny bit and see what that looked like. And it might not have helped, you know? But all in all, this is a good Halloween composition. I think you did a good job putting this scythe in here. I think it looks good based on where KD is and what we've got with KD. So this is by Bradley Seaton Designs. So he took Cody Rhodes and put his head on Homelander from The Boys. I think this is a fun thing. I'm trying to decide if his neck is too long or not. Maybe, maybe not. I think you've got a good idea of what you want to do with some of the lighting. It could be a little bit more refined, but that was I don't know how much time you spent on this. You know, I like the sparkles you've got going on here in the back. All in all, I think some areas, like you've got these nice subtle light textures down here, but then on his face, they're like super hard, like coming from the side. I think these are a little too harsh for not having anything in the back. Like you've got this light source back here, which is kind of causing this to happen. I think if you toned down if you darkened up the front based on this light source in the back, I think it would be a little bit more accurate, or had some sort of lighting source more evident on the sides. Like you can see it a little bit here. But I think it's just playing with the lighting's nice. I mean, there's a little bit of an issue right here, like where I would probably have it clipped. There's just a little thing where you can see you cut it off from. Just fix little clips like that. This could be a little bit sharper clip wise, you know. Oops, let me look at this. I feel like I want his face to be crisper. I think if I zoom out, it's a little bit better. It could just be a quality thing. And then like this TNT logo that you have on here, which is what they use for All Elite Wrestling on TNT. Knock this up so it's equal on side. So it's super far over here and tiny here. Make it so it's symmetrical. You know, put it dead in the corner, not off to the side, because it's a little distracting. But overall, I think it's a nice, fun little lighting exercise that you did. This is by Triss. I don't know Triss's other handles. You guys might recognize his logo up here. This is a Kelly Slater graphic he did, which is cool. Don't see a lot of surfing graphics. Kelly Slater, the GOAT, that's fun. So I think this is all solid for the effect you were doing. This has a lot of grain, a lot of grittiness to it, but everything has it, so it's fine. That seems to be the theme of what was going to happen here. I like sort of the texture on this. I don't know if that's his logo or if it's just a zero. or what, but just the shape in the background I like. I do like these halftone dots that go with it too. I kind of like that. The only thing that I would tweak with this is sort of the composition, because like right now, you've got this dead center. Oops. You've got this. Let me get my brush up. There, jeez. So you've got this dead center down the middle, like like this. You know, it's dead center, but then you've got Kelly over to the side. Now it could have been the photo, but I would have moved him over a little bit. So then he's dead center as well. So the whole composition is dead center. I like how you have these eyes in the box. Again, dead center. It's nice. I'm not crazy about the text here, just because everything is so symmetrical. Then you've got these sort of off to the side, and you did a little bit of a difference on it, so or exclusion that comes through, which is a fun thing to have. But I would have tried to personally keep the symmetry about what is going on with what you have here. You have Kelly eyes Slater, Kelly Slater. You know, maybe you don't need the text. Who knows? That's just what I probably would have done with this. But all in all, I like all of the editing that was done here. I like these effects that you've got going on. I think just compositionally lining things up a little bit and playing with the text a little differently would have elevated it a little bit more. This is by Vince King, the Dak Prescott design. Initial look at it, good composition. We've got a hierarchy going on. You know, maybe make this Dak a little smaller than him. These are a little similar in size. You can tweak that a little bit more. Personal things, like I would have moved Dak up a little bit from the edge. Like this is causing a little bit of stress or anxiety. Just move it up a little bit. Maybe make him a little bit smaller to really develop the size hierarchy, to really accentuate it. I like this texture on the edge. I don't know if I like it gray or if I would have liked it if it was like overlaid or whatnot. But I do like it's on there. You've got a nice simple composition. This is something I'll do a lot with stuff in the background. Toss a nice skyline of Dallas in the background, have it fade like that. I think that's good. Your shadows look pretty solid down here. I like how you added text up here. Now you just have on here like a random comma here. I would probably get rid of this comma. You probably, copy and pasted this from somewhere. But I do like that you added text like this. Text looks nice. I would have lined it up, and it might be. Yeah, I would have lined it up straight with that, which it is. But I would have probably moved this over a teeny bit just to optically so it looked a little bit better, but that's fine. The only thing I probably would have done was a little bit more editing. No, the photos are fine. The photos seem a little soft. That could be from noise reducing. I don't like to noise reduce a lot of my images unless I have to, just because they give this sort of soft look. I'm usually trying to find a little grittier look. Like this guy looks fine. I think these could have just a little bit more definition to them as edits. And then the text down here is you've got a hierarchy going on, which is good. Keep trying to do more with hierarchies. All in all, I like the design. We've got a Sean Taylor design by Tyler Hunt. So we got a lot going on here. We got Sean Taylor. We got some text going on. We do have a bit of a hierarchy. We've got big Sean Taylor down here, Sean Taylor. The text is smaller. I think you have a lot going on with these jagged sort of displacements of the text. I think it's a little too much. I really like the texture and I like these lines a lot. Like I like all of that. I would have probably then used some of these same effects on his name, but had it a little bit more organized, and have it just pull back a little bit is what I would do. So, maybe we have Sean and then we have Taylor here. And then we've got, 21, half man, half beast, something like that, where they are, but just a little tidied up. I do like that you're experimenting, and I like that you did that on all things. The Redskins would probably, they're not the Redskins anymore, so who cares? But they probably would hate what you did here. It's a fun effect. I think it looks fun. But But they would probably hate that brand standards wise. Then let's see here. So I probably would have nixed the blur going on down here by his feet, maybe. Just because, like, if this is in focus, this should theoretically be in focus too. Because it's not further away or farther apart. It's the same. It's on the same visual plane. Like some of the overlays you tossed on that, something I like to add to mine. The gradient map over the whole thing is good. I think it gets a little weird with some of these highlight areas where this is super yellow. It looks fine up here. I think it's the blur causing it to look a little bizarre. But I like the experimentation. I like what you did with these effects. I think just tidy things up a little bit. And I think it would be slightly better. We've got this designed by Epic Sports Pro, as you can see here. This is a... I don't know if it's exactly a jersey swap. It might be, but it's a composition where we got... sorry, is it DeMar talking to DeMar? I can't tell right now. I think that's what's happening. Oh well, so we got so all in all, I think we could use some shadows over here and a little bit of better clipping, like you see the end of his finger here. Just tighten that up. Add some shadows here to really sell that his hand is on his back shoulder. You know, a little bit of clipping here. I'm usually nitpicky with clipping. You know, everything else that looks fine if it's clipped there. I don't know which photos you clipped and didn't clip. You clearly had to clip his hand, so that's on there. Clipping everywhere else looks pretty solid, but really just the hand here. I mean, the coloring looks good. The editing that you would have done to the both players looks solid. Maybe a slight shadow here on this edge, and we can't really see. Like, where's his arm? Does his arm just cut off here? Like, is that where he's touching? Is that where he is touching someone in the original photo? You know, maybe stamp some of his arm down. I don't know. Low clipping issue here, but just work on tightening up some of those clips. This is a fun little piece to be done as well. Here's a UFC graphic done by Universe Graphics. As you can see here, logos down here at the bottom, solid. You know, spaced out equally from the sides. That's always good. This I probably would have lined up the same. So I would have had it line up here. Maybe move these in a little bit further so these all line up all the same. But let's see what we've got going on here. So this is a really weird, super complicated design. The quality of this is terrible. That's probably just the one I downloaded, so bear with me on that. I think this is a really weird and funky concept because I think you did a good job like trying to sell that they're hang gliding, you know, down into Madison Square Garden. I like how you have this up on top. I think some things... Okay, I'm trying to see what we're looking at here. So we're inside of a plane is what we're looking at. I probably would have gotten rid of this. I don't know how I would have sold it more because I thought this was like a propeller or something on her, like going down, but it's the inside of the cockpit. But I do like that. And then you've got some lighting on here, which is nice. You've got some stuff going on here. I think some of the lighting on these guys is a little undetailed, like a little heavy-handed with a bigger brush. I think if you would have used a smaller brush and fine-tuned it a bit, I think it would help the composition a little bit. You know, I think it's a little fine here, but up here it just seems the lighting is weird and it's not defined. It's okay up here. It's a little undefined, less defined here than it is here, where you have obvious contrast from light to dark. I think you could do that a little bit better. Maybe add some down here, but I do like how the octagon sits nice on top of Madison Square Garden, so I think that's a good addition to that. But overall, I think it's pretty solid. And then we're back to the beginning. So those are the critiques that I had for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you want to do these critiques and hop in, they're in my Discord. Deadline is Tuesday before I start my regular stream, and then I'll try and post the videos on Friday like today. But if you guys want to hop into that Discord, the link is in the description below. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you guys next Tuesday. Adios.